welcome to Virtual Tour in British Museum London. How are you today? Okay, I'm Delia as your tour guide in here. Today we will explore the British Museum, where this museum was once used as a filming location for the Night at the Museum's movie. Have you watched the film yet? You must have watched it because this film is very famous. You can't go to London without having a look at the British Museum. The British Museum is a public museum dedicated to human history, arts, and culture located in the Bloomsbury area of London. British Museum is a museum of human history and culture founded over 250 years ago, which first opened to the public on 15 January 1759 in Montagu House in Bloomsbury, on the site of the current museum building. Nowadays, the various collection contains over 8 million objects. The British Museum has in fact always been free, although visitors are asked to make a voluntary donation at the entrance. The center of the museum was redeveloped in 2001 to become the Great Court. The Great Court's giant glass structure was designed by Sir Norman Foster and is based on a design for the German Reichstag. It's spectacular, but you have to pity the people who have to clean it. Within the Great Court, there are shops and a cafe, and it stays open later than the British Museum itself. The court is in fact the central point of the museum, similar to the pyramid at the Louvre in Paris. As you can see, there is the Lion of Knidos. That is the name for a colossal ancient Greek statue erected near the ancient port of Knidos, Southwest Asia Minor, now near Datka in Turkey. Although there is some debate about the age of the sculpture, in general, scholarly opinion dates it to the 2nd century BC. Since 2000, it has been prominently displayed on a plinth under the roof of the Queen Elizabeth II Great Court because soon after it was seen by British archaeologists in 1858. The statue was taken by the British to London, where it became part of the British Museum's collection. Visitors can find plenty of audio and book guides to help them move around, and there are organized visits for schools to including activities for pupils. And how many departments are in the British Museum? The museum is organized as a directorate department, 11 collection management departments, and 11 other functional support departments. One of the most famous parts of the museum is the Department of Ancient Egypt and Sudan. In fact, the British Museum hosts the world's largest and most comprehensive collection of Egyptian antiquities in 7 permanent galleries. Apart from the Department of Ancient Egypt and Sudan, there are also the departments of Africa, Oceania and the Americas, the Department of Asia, and the Department of Britain, Europe and Prehistory, the Department of Coins and Medals, the Department of Middle East, the Department of Greece and Rome, and the Department of Prints and Drawings. Then, across from the museum, there is collection care, scientific research, and human remains. The museum organizes special temporary exhibition both in the museum and abroad, and often lends objects to international exhibitions. Of course, not all countries are happy about having their own cultural heritage in the British Museum. Greece, for example, has long contested the presence of the Parthenon or Elgin marbles, which it claims belong in their original context in Athens. Okay, in here there is Amenhotep III statue around 1386 until 1353 BCE. He was the main king of the 18th dynasty of Egypt. He is also known as Tecmaate, Amenopis III, Amenhotep II, and Amenhotep, all of which relate to the concept of the god Amun being satisfied, or as in the case of Tecmaate, with the ideal of satisfied balance, Ma'at. He was the son of the pharaoh Thutmose IV and his lesser wife Mutemia, husband of Queen Tiye, father of Akhenaten, and grandfather of Tutankhamun and Akhenamun. His greatest contribution to Egyptian culture was in maintaining peace and prosperity, which enabled him to devote his time to the arts. Okay, in here there is Rosetta Stone. What is the Rosetta Stone? The Rosetta Stone is one of the most famous objects in the British Museum. But what is it? The stone is a broken part of a bigger stone slab. It has a message carved into it. Written in three types of writing, it was an important clue that helped experts learn to read Egyptian hieroglyphs, a writing system that used pictures as signs. But why is it important? The writing on the stone is an official message called a decree about the king Ptolemy V 204 until 181 BC. The decree was copied onto large stone slabs called stela, which were put in every temple in Egypt. It says that the priests of a temple in Memphis in Egypt supported the king. The Rosetta Stone is one of these copies, so not particularly important in its own right. The important thing for us is that the decree is inscribed three times in hieroglyphs, suitable for a priestly decree, thematic, the cursive Egyptian script used for daily purpose, meaning language of the people, and ancient Greek, the language of the administration. The rulers of Egypt at this point were Greco-Macedonian after Alexander the Great's conquest. As you can see, there are three black granite statues of Perosesastres III, 12th dynasty, circa 1850 BC, originally from Deir el-Bahri, now at the British Museum. And there is the red granite statue of Amenhotep III, 1350 BC. Next, we will start our museum tour with this Living and Dying, or the Welcome Trust Gallery. It explores how people everywhere deal with the tough realities of life and death. These challenges are shared by all, but strategies to deal with them varies from place to place, people to people, and for example, people in Solomon Island depends their life to the sea, but it's probably different with people in Russia or European countries. Wow, this statue, known as Hoa Hakanania, comes from the ceremonial village of Orongo on Tapanui, Esther Island. It is one of a number of statues, known as Moai, for which the island is famous, which date to around AD 1000 until 1200. Most Moai were positioned on platforms known as ahu, which generally face away from the ocean, so the statues gaze inwards to the land and its people. Across Polynesia, islanders worship ancestors who trace their lineage back to the gods. Moai were raised in honor of important divine ancestors. Today, Moai are described as the Aringa Ora, the living face of the ancestors. Hoa Hakananea is carved from hard basalt, and on his back are a number of petroglyphs depicting cricket, bird heads, and human or bird figures, amongst other things. This relate to the island's birthman ceremonies, which were associated with fertility and access to resources. Now we are back to the main hall, and this tour ends here. Don't forget to buy souvenirs because there are lots of souvenirs that you can buy before going home. That's all from me. Sorry if there are mistakes when I catch you. If you still have questions, you can contact me via message or WhatsApp. And I hope this tour will be very memorable for you, and hopefully we can meet another time. See you!